friend who I met at KU. Brilliant. His PhD in political science from the University of California at Berkeley. He was so outspoken during those years in the late 60s and early 70s, or late 60s at KU. And his name's diZerega. He has a blog. He writes constantly, analyzing, about Wicca, about the political ramifications of what's going on right now. I mean, it blows a lot of us away who knew him then. And I remember one time about 10 or 15 years ago, somebody asked the question, well, did Gus become a witch? Well, okay. But he's moved to Taos, New Mexico now. Writes, I mean, you can Google him, Gus diZerega. In fact, he grew up knowing the Koch brothers in Wichita. His father is a member of the Sons of the American Revolution, grew up in a very conservative background, but brilliant, and he got into Wicca when he was in Berkeley, and I'm amazed at the things that he writes. It's not so much that he's offending me because he writes about Wicca, or that it's just like, man, this guy has some insights. And he's still, he's written books. My goodness, he writes all the time.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you've heard of him or not.
You'll have to, how do you spell his name?
It's Gus, small D-I, and then capital Z-E-R-G-E-A. diZerega. You've heard of this.
I have.
Yeah, so you can, yeah. But I guess to me that's been my introduction to Wicca. I mean, you're just not a couple of people coming through on the carnival,
Yeah.
So I mean, my inferences, and this is a tradition. These are, England, the United Kingdom. There's a long tradition there, going back maybe to Stonehenge. Who knows? And, so you are. I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah, you're clued into that, and you're among us.
Yeah.
Do you have much of a distinction between Wiccan on one hand and witchcraft on another? Because I think people use those interchangeably.
Yeah, that's kind of beyond my scope. I know people that say that they are completely different, and I know some people that say that they're the same thing. And then, of course, you got the fluffy bunny witches. So, I mean, there's really no set definitions. I mean, it's going to come back down to what a certain person believes themselves. And I can't. That's why I always said that I represent pagans, but it's like herding cats, because there's just too much. There's some certain there's some similarities, but there's just so much difference.
One of the similarities I like, apparently historically, the term Methodist, I don't know if anybody knows, it used to be a derogatory term. I mean, when John Wesley was developing his studies stuff, they were derogatorily called Methodist because of their methods. And it was a slang. And interesting, pagan is the same term in history. It really wasn't developed by pagan people, it was developed by Christian people who called people pagan when they didn't believe in certain ways. And you've accepted
and
that
we adopted it and made it positive.
As Methodists have done. Our name still carries some derogatory in certain places, Methodist, but not probably like pagan. And I think it's kind of neat that we're connected in that way, and that sometimes you do have to take what people throw against you and say, okay, I'm going to take it and be proud of it. And
well,
you see that happening a lot now.
Back in the day, Volga German people in Round Hayes referred to Fort Hays State College as that Methodist college.
They weren't admiring it.
No, the way they said it, it tells it all.
Yeah.
And that was a lady who was a Catholic who had gotten 2 master's degrees from Fort Hays State, and she was joking about that. But back in the teens.